Gotcha. Gotcha. What's up guys, my name is Kale, and today on Looking at Games we're going to be talking about a blaster that's based on another blaster that's based on another blaster?
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
What? Let's get into it. This is the Hampster, and this is a single-shot bottom prime blaster. It is spring-powered, and it comes in 3 different color options. White, purple, and this clear one right here. You guys can clearly see which one I chose. Get it? Clearly see?
Fool this man!
As for what comes in the box, well, nothing comes in the box besides this blaster. It doesn't come with any kinds of darts or attachments. It does have like a little channel into a front iron sight right here, a metal plunger tube, a knuckle guard, which gives it its squarish shape. On the knuckle guard, there's also this little cutout right here, which would allow you to attach some kind of strap or maybe a blaster charm, and an oval plunger tube, which is not very common. This blaster is a collaboration between Shanye and Phantomtech. It retails for about $20 on Out of Darts website. Now, full disclosure, Out of Darts did send me this blaster to review, but I am not getting paid or compensated for this review, and they do not get to pre-screen this video before I post it. So you can trust that what I say is really what I think. Now, first impressions of this blaster are pretty good. I feel like ergonomically, it's not bad. I mean, I have, adult-sized hands, and my hands fully fit inside this knuckle duster. I really like the clear aesthetic, that's why I chose this one. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, this blaster is based on another blaster, a 3D printed blaster called the Leaf. This is basically the injection molded version of that. But one thing I haven't seen people mentioning is that the Leaf is actually based on the Nerf Pocket Strike. And that blaster was kind of popular when it came out, but it got discontinued. Hence why a 3D printed version was made, the Leaf. So like I said earlier, this blaster, the Hampster, is based on another blaster, the Leaf, which is based on another blaster, the Nerf Pocket Strike. But I digress. Let's check out that air seal. Well, it basically doesn't exist. That was pretty much instant. Now, I may end up tinkering with this blaster a little bit to try and improve that air seal, but right now I want to see how hard it shoots out of the box. So when it comes to how hard this blaster shoots, on a variety of 1 gram standard weight darts, this blaster shoots between around 86 FPS to 102 FPS, with an average sitting right about 95 FPS. Which is not quite the up to 120 that the blaster claims to get.
Oh man!
I mean, I kind of already guessed it'd be underperforming because of the air seal, and I'm not sure if that's just mine or if it's all of them. But what I do know is that this thing could probably stand to be relubed at bare minimum, and maybe check out the O-rings. It still makes me very curious to find where the air is actually leaking from. But right now, how it is out of the box, getting that roughly 100 FPS, I'd like to see how accurately it shoots. Like I mentioned in my Nexus Pro X video, since I just moved to Washington, we don't really have the range setup that we had when I lived in California. But for something at this FPS, I think the hallway in my apartment is way more sufficient for a blaster like this than it was for the Nexus Pro. So let's see how it does. When we back things up to about 25 feet, this blaster on standard 1 gram darts gets around 3 or 4 out of 5, which is not bad considering it doesn't have any rifling.
Hey, that's pretty good.
So now that we've done all of our testing on this blaster, and I've gotten a chance to use it at some games, what do I actually think of it? Well, let's start with the good. The good things are I really like that they have multiple color options, and specifically I like this clear colorway. It allows me to see everything that's going on inside the blaster, and that's both functional and just aesthetically pleasing, which gives it a nice retro vibe. And the early 2000s transparent aesthetic is obviously something I'm a fan of. Like, there just isn't a lot of stuff being made in clear as of right now, but there have been leaked photos of a clear Harrier, so I am excited to see about that. It's also just made out of high quality materials, and I'm not super worried about dropping it or dinging it like I would be with a lot of other transparent items. It's also comfortable in the hand, and it easily fits in the pocket, which is kind of the whole purpose of it. On the flip side, some of the things that I don't like are that, of course, we're not getting that 120 FPS that we were promised. Realistically, getting up to 120 FPS looks something along the lines of getting 105 to 115 FPS. And we're sitting right around 10 to 15 FPS away from getting that. And you can't really squeeze much more power out of it without serious modification because it's solvent welded. At the end of the day, neither of these things are deal breakers for me personally. I think that having 10 to 15 FPS more out of this blaster wouldn't really make it any more fun than it already is. And it is a fun blaster to use. It's a great last chance blaster for HVZ. It's perfect for one in the chamber. And it also just looks great on your wall, which is exactly where I'm gonna put mine. Maybe in a future video, I'll mod this to see what I can get out of it. But for now, I'm having fun just plinking. Side note, this blaster is on the lower end of performance on what we cover on the channel, and usually we cover a lot more high performance items. If that's something that interests you, then you should consider mag dumping that like button, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell, so you can be the first to find out when we drop the next video. And I'll give you a hint. It's bird related.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And let me know down in the comments if you're planning to pick one of these up, and if so, what color you plan on getting. That's all I have for you today, but until next time on the King of Games, have a blast.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
Oh, I got him! I got Randall!